Hello, divine beings, and welcome to your prediction of the energies of June 2021. And that will be a psychic tarot reading for each of the moon sign placements. And of course, if you don't know your moon sign, comment below. I'll help you work that out. And it will be a general reading. We'll start with the general reading and we will touch on some of the astrological highlights for the energy of June, so do stay tuned. General reading for all signs. What is June going to hold? And with that Mercury retrograde energy that is upon us since I think the 29th of May, communication may be a little bit difficult to move through. There may be lots of misunderstandings and logistical kinks in your plans, and some of your plans may need revision, and some of the things that are occurring and unfolding in the month of June may feel a lot like poor timing. And you can take each of those moments where it feels like there's this kink, right? This challenge, and allow that to be something you rise above. In some ways, you're really starting to kickstart new energies, kickstart new ways of being, kickstart new projects, all right? There's a lot of this energy of newness and new journeys, new beginnings, right? But the problem with being at the beginning of a brand new journey, and the thing is, I really want to problematize the word problem, because a problem sometimes makes us feel blocked. It sometimes makes us feel like we can't continue, or there's just this great challenge, and then it's almost that feeling of whoa, poor me, woe to me. And the thing is, really, it shows us something that we need to overcome. It shows us something new that we need to integrate and learn. And that is the thing about being new in a journey. There's many layers of ignorance to move through as well, and I hope that none of you take offense by that word ignorance, because I think the wisest thing to acknowledge is we are always going to be ignorant of something, of an aspect. It is impossible for us to cognize and understand, especially on a personal level, everything in the entire universe. And whenever we start something new, there are going to be those aspects that we just simply don't know about yet and don't have the experience in yet. And this is how you gain that experience. So surrender to that learning process and see it as that, a learning process, an unfolding process. Come to your center each step of that way. As you move through the month and we come towards the middle of the month, there's really going to be this need to take a sensible approach, to really think about what's going on, feel through what's going on, and be practical about the best way to move forward. There's also this energy of needing to honor the people in your life and needing to just connect with all of the people that bring beautiful things into your life as well, and really just honor the emotional layers to your relationship realms, all right? Even if sometimes those emotions are not always good, inverted commas, because I think even anger and sadness can have a good turnaround. Okay, it shows us something needs to shift. Quite often the thing that needs to shift is our own perspectives of the things. And so I would encourage you to honor how you're feeling in terms of any of your relationships, around the middle of the month. Be sensible about how to move forward and be amicable, be understanding, and shift the way you speak about these things. As we move towards the end of the month, I'm really seeing a turnaround in financial spaces, wealth and abundance, right? Sometimes abundance, in fact 98% of the time, abundance is not necessarily having money in the bank. It's having what you need when you need it. So if you're not feeling so financially flush, just shift your view and acknowledge all of the spaces where you are so abundant, and watch how that shift in your view shifts the flow of wealth and abundance to you in so many ways. Acknowledge where you are already abundant. But there does seem to be this energy of enjoying life's luxuries, of really tapping into the good feeling energy of wealth, of, you know, those delicious things that you enjoy in a day. It's like really sitting down and enjoying each bite of food when you have a meal, and really appreciating every little complicated flavor therein. And when you sit and drink your cup of tea, to just really savor the sip and smell it before you taste it, and to just enjoy the feeling of the warm cup in your hand, or whatever it is that you are savoring and enjoying. Really taking the time to enjoy the small things in your life, because this is really how you bring more of that in, and that's how you bring yourself in metaphorically from the cold. I have two very important keywords for this month, and that is tying in with the astrology, which I'm going to get to just now. That is intention and sensitivity. And you know, this month we're going to have Jupiter and Neptune going retrograde. We have Mercury retrograde most of the month as well. And Jupiter and Neptune are going to be retrograde in Pisces. And you know, Pisces is about those deep and sensitive feeling energies, and we're really going to need to be very intentional about how we tap into our intuitions, and be very cautious about falling into delusion, into illusion. Set your intentions now about how you wish to carry yourself through this month, in alignment with your integrity, in alignment with your highest good, and therefore the good of all, because you are going to be feeling sensitive. And sometimes sensitive means you snap, you react, or sensitive can mean I feel all the energies of the room, I feel the collective energy, I feel what I feel, and I transmute it, I allow it to flow through in healthy ways. Many of you are going to be moving through profound career transitions this month. Of course, not all of you, but even those who are not moving through those career transitions, perhaps you're shifting a view within your career, perhaps you are shifting the way you see your career, and perhaps you're shifting an energetic play within that career space. A lot of you are shifting your career paths towards something that is more aligned with your spiritual goals, and there's somehow that energy of counselor coming through. And perhaps some of you are finding new mentors, perhaps some of you are becoming mentors to someone. And you know, that mentorship role can be so healing and profound, and it really goes in both directions. You know, when you teach, you also learn. There's always that mirror reflection in terms of what's coming through. And I think the best mentors are those that realize that they too are being mentored, and that the mentorship is something that is beneficial in both directions, but it really is very heart-centered kind of work, and it's very seldom tied in with the exchange of finance, right? It's really an energetic exchange, and it's something you really do with love. I do feel that if you are very intentional with the kinds of energies you wish to work and the way you wish to carry yourself, that certain keys are really going to unlock for you, right? that is the key to your unlocking. It's that setting of the intention of how you deal with those deep, sensitive energies, and how you really listen to your intuitive nudges and really honor them. I'm also feeling a sense of balancing coming through with that key, with that unlocking. I'm feeling it in two streams: masculine, feminine energies, which of course is not male, female, okay? That's the masculine, feminine archetype that we all carry and hold within ourselves, as well as that brain-heart connection, that balancing of the logic and the feeling center, which of course actually is the same thing as the masculine feminine energy. Right, and some of those astrological highlights, and as you may well know, Mercury retrograde is already upon us since the end of May, and the sun is in Gemini for most of this month. The sun already moved into Gemini at the end of May. And of course, Mercury is retrograde in Gemini. So that Gemini energy is very important right now. And Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So while Mercury in Gemini heightens those Mercury and Gemini energies, that social butterfly energy, that flirtatious energy, that intellectual energy, that great communicator energy, also maybe that kind of gossiping energy, all right, on the shadow side. And of course with that sun in Gemini, those energies are a little bit tripped up by the fact that Mercury is in retrograde. So we really need to watch our tongues, which I believe I gave that as one of the sort of overarching pieces of advice for last month, which really carries through into this month. Be intentional with the words you speak and make sure that they align with your higher self, that they align with what it is you wish to be calling into this world, into your life, that they align with your integrity, and that they align with the way you also wish to be spoken about by others. Speak about others in the way you wish to be honored and respected. We're also going to be having Jupiter going retrograde, as well as Neptune going retrograde in Pisces this month. I did touch on this in the general reading, and this is very, very important. It's really going to pull our emotional strings. It's really going to connect us with the collective energy, not necessarily always in the most joyful ways. And of course, you know, the collective energy is always going to have two streams, right? There's always going to be that fear factor, and there is going to be that love factor. So which aspect are you plugging into? Because it's quite easy to get sucked into that fear factor, all right? Media feeds it to us all of the time. And, you know, you have the agency to be able to choose what media streams you plug into. And, you know, I just want to bring up the app Insight Timer as an example. This is a social media app that is specifically aimed at meditation, spirituality, and spreading, I guess, love and light and consciousness and all sorts of different practices. And this is a very energetically clean space. The only advertisements within the space are for the space, are for spirituality. And while you're meditating, you know, unlike here on YouTube, unfortunately, and I love YouTube, you don't get an advert shouting at you in the middle of your meditation, which is, yeah, honestly one of the most problematic things about this space. June is a time of deep inner work, and of course we still have Pluto in retrograde as well. So lots of retrograding energies this month, lots of slowing down, lots of deep inner reflection, and yeah, lots of tapping in with those realms. So get ready for that deep internal work, get ready for that internal house cleaning, and get ready to surrender to even the dark aspects of self, in only so that you can transmute it into the light of consciousness. Around the 2nd, 3rd of May, depending where in the world you are, we have Venus moving into Cancer, and it will be joining Mars in Cancer. And as we know, and I've already spoken about this in previous videos, that Mars does not like to be in Cancer, and Mars in Cancer is a little bit triggered, oversensitive, moody, etc., etc. Venus, on the other hand, doesn't mind so much to be in Cancer, and it does bring a beautiful, deep sensitivity to our relationship realms. And of course, Mars being that hyper masculine planet, Venus being that hyper feminine planet, the divine feminine. We have both of them joining together in Cancer. We really have this opportunity, while these two are dancing together in this same sign, this opportunity to build new bridges of understanding within our interpersonal relationships, especially romantic relationships, but of course even our relationships at work. And of course, this can sometimes mean we feel triggered, we feel sensitive, and we snap at each other. And then we have the opportunity to go away and reflect and go, well, what's the best way to deal with this? How do we honor how everyone feels in the situation and come to a space of resolution? And how do we shift our perspectives within these spaces? And how do we have healing conversations? Because Cancer knows how to express that emotion, because Cancer must express that emotion. Cancer cannot not express the emotion. So find those healing ways and express with intention for bringing healing, not just because you're feeling hurt. Around the 3rd and 4th, again depending where you are in the world, we have two glorious trine aspects. The first trine aspect is between the Sun in Gemini and Saturn in Aquarius. And Saturn is about those challenges, those limitations that we face. And the Sun in Gemini is really intellectual, it's problem solving, it's able to see multiple perspectives, it's able to see multiple pathways all of the time. And so I really feel this as an energy of problem solving. Despite the fact that Mercury is retrograde, I really do feel some of those beautiful mercurial communicative skills coming through with this glorious trine aspect to work through some of those kinks, to work through some of those bumps, and to really bring positive changes, positive solutions. The next trine aspect is between Venus in Cancer and Jupiter in Pisces, and this is before Jupiter is going retrograde, so we still have that full glorious energy of the Jupiter, good luck, joy, expansion. And of course Venus in Cancer, it's to do with love, it's to do with beauty, it's to do with art and relationships. So those beautiful artists out there, and of course all of us in some way, shape or form are artists, for we are all creative beings. And so for those of you who don't recognize yourself as artists already, I would really like for you to just give yourself that acknowledgement that you are a divine creator and that you are birthing projects, ideas, solutions into the world every single day. And it's very fortunate. This is probably the best day of the month, to be honest. It's a great day for starting projects. It's a great day for finishing projects. It's a great day for finding solutions. It's a great day for communication. It's a great day for setting meetings. Again, despite the Mercury retrograde energy, there may be those challenges and those problems still cropping up because of the retrograde energy, but you will really just be able to find the solutions every step of the way. Tap into that creativity, tap into that heart driven, the passion. And that's really where the passion comes from, that fiery heart center. Joy, the abundance and the expansion and the growth of this day. On the 5th or 6th of June, we will have a square aspect between Mercury in Gemini and Neptune in Pisces. And of course Mercury is retrograde, so that energy is slowing down. Plus we have the square aspect. Square aspects are a little bit more challenging, a little bit more difficult. So, it may feel like a little bit of undoing of all of the progress of the day before. Quite often this kind of energy will seem a bit like a big mountain, a huge challenge, a huge setback, but actually the size of that setback is a bit of an illusion. So don't get too caught up in the drama of it. Use this energy to help you to see the places where perhaps there was oversight the day before, and to recognize, oh, that's where something needs to shift, that's where something needs to change. Okay, we're seeing some of places where we were a little bit illusioned. Be cautious actually on this day about falling into illusion, delusion, and falling back into old addictive patterns, right? It may be one of those days where, you know, when you've decided, I'm going to have an abundance mindset, and then you start with the affirmations, and you start doing the meditations, and you start doing the work, and you start digging all of those problems and those things from your childhood, and you start unraveling them, and then you're really getting set on the whole thing, and then a day like this comes along and it's like those things crop back up. So be cautious of falling back into those patterns. You have the challenge. I challenge you on this day to really be conscious about how you carry yourself, how you speak your words, and the intentions that you set. It's a very important day to set those intentions and to spend time in meditation so that you can tap into your heart center and see the truth of the situation that you're in. On the 10th or 11th of June, we are going to have a new moon solar eclipse in Gemini, and we will also have Mercury in Gemini conjunct with the Sun in Gemini, and that conjunction just adds a lot of potency and a lot of energy to this already potent eclipsed moon, new moon. It is a very powerful energy. Eclipses often set an energy and a scene for 6 months. It plays out for the next 6 months. So we've got this whole theme of that Gemini energy, and of course Mercury is retrograde. I'm going to keep reminding you about that. So we really have those shadowy aspects of the Gemini showing up. And again, for me, this really is about being conscious about the words that you are speaking. Set the intention to speak words of integrity. Set the intention to speak those words of integrity about yourself, for yourself, about others, for others, to others, and to really root yourself in what it is you want to be bringing in, and really aligning your words and your communication skills, because communication is further than just words. It is also our body language, our gestures, our expression, the way we climb out of bed. Is it like this? Or is it like, good morning, another beautiful day, I feel so grateful to be alive. All of that is communicating with the universe, as well as your thoughts, you know. It's one thing to only speak words of integrity, but if you are really being conscious about shifting any of your lower vibrational thought patterns as well, this can really set you up for a very glorious 6-month energy. Really spend some time journaling on this day. I think that's going to be very important, and really set those intentions, and set the intention again to connect with that intuition about knowing what is the best next move for you every step of the way. On the 11th or 12th of June, we will have Mars entering Leo, and it's just moved from Cancer. It's no longer dancing with Cancer, with Venus in Cancer, and it's now moving into a little bit more of a comfortable placement with that Leo energy. You know, we may find it just a little bit easier to assert ourselves at this point. There also may be the tendency to be a little bit more egotistical, to need a little bit more of that pride stroking within the relationships. And in fact, it's a great time to really start speaking words of praise to your partners. You know, I say partners very loosely. This can be your business partners, it can be your partners in crime, like your besties, your friends. It's a really great time to actually just start stroking everyone's egos, not in an egotistical way, but really just to appreciate them, because this is how you are going to get the best of the energy of that Leo energy. Everyone's going to be feeling that Leo and Mars energy. Of course, those of us with strong Leo placements are going to feel it more intensely. So for those of you who are Leo moons, Leo suns, Leo Mars placements, you're really going to feel this Mars in Leo energy very, very profoundly. It's also going to give us a boost of confidence. It's going to make us feel a little bit more rooted within our fiery passions. It's going to make us more playful, both creatively in the work sphere, in what we create in life, but also in the bedroom, sexually, within our relationships. And it's going to give us that voice to be able to really speak about what it is we want physically. Maybe not so much emotionally. The emotional side may be a little bit of a pride aspect. There's more of this sense of expecting, which of course you can bring into awareness and try not to be like that. You can take the lessons of that Cancer Mars energy and really learn to speak about how you're feeling instead of reacting in that pride or ego way. All right. Leo energy is all about being heart-centered. It's all about being led by the heart. So bring focus to keeping the heart space open, because this is really the best way to work with that Leo Mars energy. 13th, 14th, we have Sun in Gemini square to Neptune in Pisces. And around the 14th, 15th, we have Saturn in Aquarius square to Uranus in Taurus. And I do feel this sort of 3-day period as a moment to come to terms with some of the places where we've been lying to ourselves. And yeah, it's really going to become very evident, like, oh, that was kind of not me in alignment. And you know, it really is that feeling of not being aligned with your higher self, and you really have to consciously bring yourself back into that space of alignment. And you know, it's only going to be the very dedicated meditators among us who manage to transmute this kind of double squared energy over 3 days. And it's really going to offer us the opportunity to create transformations and shifts within ourselves, but the tendency is going to lean more towards that feeling of poor me, the victim narrative, right? You know, that Saturn in Aquarius energy can tend to be quite pessimistic, so there will be that tendency to want to fall into the pessimism, want to fall into those negative stories, those victim narratives, those poor me, I was abused as a child, etc., etc. You have the choice now, because you have brought this into your consciousness. You have the choice to go, okay, well, over these 3 days, I am not going to fall into the pessimism. I am going to generate my own good feeling energy, no matter what is going on, no matter what is occurring. I will continue to shift that narrative and to shift the way that I speak about my life, my past, my journey, my current circumstances, so that you can overcome that pessimism and shift it into optimism. It is still important to acknowledge how you're feeling. It is important to allow space for emotions to come up. We don't really want to fall into this thing of gaslighting or ignoring what's going on, or not dealing with the things that you need to deal with just simply by shifting into optimism, because that can also be ignorance, right? You do need to acknowledge how you're feeling and interrogate where it is coming from, so that you can shift that thing. And I hope that that sort of nuanced difference makes sense. It's not about just covering it up and hiding it under the carpet and pretending there's nothing there, right? You do need to do some sweeping away. You do need to get rid of what is there. And in order to get rid of what is there, you must acknowledge its origin point, which is 98% your childhood. All right, we have a very special energy around the 20th, 21st. We have the sun moving from Gemini into Cancer. And of course, we have the summer or winter solstice, depending where you are. This will either be the longest day of the year or the shortest day of the year. And it is a very significant moment. It's a turning point, it's a shifting point, it's a point where we're either going to start moving towards shorter days again, or we're going to be moving towards longer days again. It's a pivot point. It's a space and a moment where a turnaround happens. And you know, these things are always metaphorical at the same time. So what is it you wish to shift and turn around in your life right now? And if we look at the global cycles, right, if you're in the north and you are turning away from the longest day, and you're turning away from the sunshine, and you're turning towards a quieter, a winter, a slowing down, what is it you wish to be releasing and letting go of in this period? What is it that you no longer wish to carry with you as you move forward? And for those of us who will be moving towards summer, what is it you wish to bring in? What is it you wish to shine? What is it you wish to create? What is it you wish to draw towards yourself as your magnetism heightens? And then of course we have that shift from the Gemini sun theme into that Cancer theme. And we've really been preparing for that Cancer theme because we've had Venus and Mars in Cancer for quite a while. Of course, Mars already has moved into Leo at this point. And Cancer is deep sensitivity. Cancer is bringing focus to the home. Cancer is about bringing harmony to the home. Cancer is about dealing with the emotions, and it's about being honest about how we feel, and it's about honoring the emotions and allowing them to flow through and allowing them to transmute into water and to be transmuted, and allowing them to fall onto the earth. And on that very same day, we have Jupiter stationing retrograde in Pisces. And so we have a little bit of a slowdown on our expansion. We have a little bit of a necessity for us to tap deeply into our intuitive spaces, as I've already said. And I do feel like I've spoken enough about that Jupiter retrograde energy, but just to recognize that this solstice day is that moment that happens. And one of the things that will be necessary for that turnaround, right, is to set that intention about being aligned with your own inner wisdom, being aligned with your intuition. Because there is no greater knowledge than the knowledge that comes from deep within you when you consciously bring yourself into alignment with your truth, with your life purpose. It's great to get inspiration from external sources such as myself, Carla here at LunAscention, but there is no better truth than the one that whispers from your soul, from your inner realms and your inner world, and only you know what is resonating for you. So do set that very profound intention for this time. Around the 21st and 22nd, we have a glorious trine aspect, and so this is just some beautiful energy carrying over from that solstice energy between Venus in Cancer and Neptune in Pisces. And Venus and Neptune are some of those really beautiful benefic planets. It really brings a lot of good fortune. It brings dreaminess, it brings love, it brings romance, it brings deep connection with the spiritual realms. It may be a moment of veils thinning, and in fact it's a really great day for ritual. Over these 2 days, right, the solstice right into that next day with that trine energy, even if you're going to do a 2-day ritual, if you're going to lay a crystal grid for the solstice, keep it out for that next day so that it can really absorb some of that beautiful trine energy. Oh, it's romantic, it's loving, it's kind, it's dreamy, it's fun, it's expressive, it's artistic, it's creative. Okay, if you're birthing creative projects, do go to the studio this day, do sit and draw, do sit and write, do spend time with the people you love, do spend time appreciating each other, do spend time visualizing your grand future. Okay, beautiful energy to work with on this day. Around the 22nd, 23rd of June, we have Mercury stationing direct. Hallelujah! We made it through the retrograde. Of course, there is still a 3-week post shadow of that retrograde energy, but things are speeding up. Communication is going to be easier. Things are going to flow better, especially for those of us who are Mercury ruled. If you have strong Gemini and Virgo placements anywhere in your chart, it really is going to just help you to flow with the communication, flow with the words, move through things with a little bit more grace and finesse and ease. The next 3 weeks will be a wonderful time for integrating the lessons that were revealed by that retrograde energy. So don't just wish them away and be like, oh, it's over now. It's not quite over. It is important for you to sit with those lessons, to feel through them, and to continue bringing conscious energy into how you now choose to carry yourself after the lessons, after what you've learned, after what's been revealed. On the 23rd, 24th, we have a glorious trine aspect between the Sun in Cancer and Jupiter in Pisces, as well as an opposition between Venus in Cancer and Pluto in Capricorn. Okay, that opposition energy is very intense. It can create difficulty, but because we have it alongside this glorious trine aspect, I'm really feeling it as a beautiful revealing of the things that we need to shift and transform within our relationships. And really we have the ability to do so with that Jupiter bringing that good luck. Despite it being in retrograde, it is a trine aspect. It is in Pisces. Jupiter in Pisces is so wonderful. And then we have Sun Cancer, Venus Cancer. You know, we really have the ability to use our intuition on this day, to tap in with how we feel and to use it in very intellectual, very intelligent, very emotionally intelligent ways in order to move forward, in order to shift, in order to do that internal housework, that house cleaning, the house of self. Around the 24th, 25th, we have a beautiful full moon energy in Capricorn. There isn't anything too drastically special about this full moon in Capricorn, but of course it is a full moon. We have the full capacity of that moon energy shining upon that very practical, very grounded Capricornian traits. I feel it as a very good moment for us to shine the light on the spaces where we've been stubborn in our lives, and to surrender that, right? To recognize where it is we've been standing in our own way because we've been too stuck in our ways, and to really just surrender that to the universe and go, well, you know, I'm committed to this path. I'm committed to being in alignment with my higher self. Show me, I trust, I flow. Okay, it's really about shifting from I control everything to I surrender it and I flow. I utilize my practical skills, I utilize my intellect, I utilize my ability to be committed and to get up every day and to work towards this goal, but I also surrender and I also take advice from others, or at least hear the advice from others. You don't have to take every single piece of advice that comes through. Definitely filter that through your own intuitive senses, right? Always follow your own heart. But don't get confused between what is you following your own heart and what is you being stuck in your ways. And this is the great moment for that turnaround. Around the 25th and 26th of June, we have Neptune going retrograde in Pisces, and this means that both Jupiter and Neptune are retrograde in Pisces. They're slowing down in that glorious Piscean energy. They are the traditional and modern rulers of Pisces. They're at home in Pisces. And so this really brings us deeply in touch with our intuitions, okay? It's particularly heightened, and it is particularly necessary to listen to that voice. Do be conscious about how you use this energy. Prioritize your practice of going within and that deep listening, because this is what will prevent you from falling into false narratives. And finally, on the 27th or 28th of June, we have Venus joining Mars in Leo. And so we really have this Leo energy in terms of our masculine and feminine, in terms of our relationships, in terms of how we express ourselves. And Leo is a loving and confident and expressive and expansive. Leo is abundance. Leo is enough. Leo is a bit egotistical, a little bit of pride. It's kind of that royal archetype, right? That royal archetype that says, I'm the queen, I'm the king, and if you don't treat me as such, then I feel terribly offended. You know, it's that kind of archetype. So there are some things to overcome within that. You know, don't get too full of yourself. You are wonderful, sure. All of us are, and that's the point. All of us are, and we all have needs. We all have needs. All right, now you can go into the description of the video and find the timestamp for your moon sign. See you there. Pisces moon signs. For you, the key word coming up is patience. Of course, in this month of June, you're going to be having both your ruling planets, Jupiter, traditionally Neptune, more modernly, going retrograde, and they're both in your sign, your moon sign placement of Pisces. And yeah, those Piscean energies are so strong, but also hindered by the retrograde. They're slowed down. And so if there was ever a time for you to really take the time to listen to the stirrings of your soul, it is this month. It is this month. Be patient with yourself as you grow and move through these changes. Be patient with those that surround you. Be patient with all of the teething problems, the growing pains, for in between there is so much to be grateful for. There is so much joy, there is so much love, and it is much easier for you to see that when you give yourself the time that you need to tap deeply within. Balance is the other keyword coming out, and you know, balancing out all the different aspects of your life is always so essential. And I feel like it's something I've probably said to you guys before in previous videos. It's always great advice, but this month it will be particularly important for you to bring that balancing energy. Make sure you are getting enough rest. If your body is tired and you need more rest, then listen to that. Bring through new balance into your eating plans, eating intuitively, only when you are feeling that you are hungry. Bringing balance into how much work you do and how much social time you have. Always checking in with what it is that you need. You are moving through releasing some fears around finance, around abundance, and around your worthiness. really embrace this time. It's very important for you to really interrogate where these ideas are coming from, to really tap in with how it feels, and where are those seeds, the seeds of those ideas, where are they planted? It will be necessary for you to be wise enough to accept the help that is offered to you by others. There are people around you who are offering lending hands, and they're extending that hand in a way that goes, you're not alone in this. You have support, you have love, and all you need to do is surrender to that, accept that, hear that, listen to that. Around the beginning of the month, I feel it's going to be a really good time for bringing focus to your relationships, spending time cultivating feelings of love, feelings of safety, building bridges within relationships, working on the communications within relationships, and really bringing focus to integrating love, loving energy. And I'm really feeling that there are so many divine relationships in your life, and this takes the form of friends and family and partners, but there is definitely more than one soulmate relationship around you right now. And it's so important for you to recognize those deep soul connections and to acknowledge it, so that when those more difficult moments appear, you already know the way that you see and view that person. When you see their shadow, their light is still present. Don't forget that. Around the middle of the month, it will be necessary for you to start taking some more action. You've been sitting on planning stages and thinking and discussion, but it really is time to physically start taking action. And I know it seems scary while Mercury is in retrograde, but taking action doesn't mean you rush all of the action. You can take conscious, slow, steady, sure, confident, and heart-centered action. And then around the end of the month, you're really going to see how your bringing together of action and planning and visions and your ability to take steps towards those visions are really starting to pay off in beautiful, beautiful ways. All right, divine Pisces souls, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please do hit subscribe, hit like. That's how you can help me to grow. Of course, I would love to hear from you in the comments. What are you moving through at the moment? What are you most looking forward to this month of June? And I wish you all of the beautiful blessings. Please join me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. See you next time around. Lots of love. Beautiful Aquarius moons. Some of the keywords coming through for you are: there is so much hope for the future, hope for the projects that you are birthing, forward motion. Despite all of these retrograding energies, you are moving things full steam ahead this month of June. You may hit a couple of difficult moments, but you will find it's so easy to diffuse any of the problems. It will be very essential for you to speak your mind with confidence, but also with love, to really speak through the truths that you see in order to keep things moving and flowing as they should. You are filled with brilliant ideas this month of June. And do not forget the wonderful value of your brilliant mind, and do act upon your ideas. When you get those ideas, write them down, because otherwise they're just going to be these fleeting things that come in and go out and don't actually come through to change your life. It is so important for you to access your brilliance, and you are that brilliance. It's not a thing of how do I connect with my brilliance. You already are connected to that brilliance. All you need to do is consciously work with it and use that problem-solving ability and that ability to see and foresee and foretell and see the solutions, right? Bring them through. All of the storm clouds are parting for you, and you are able to see the silver linings as long as you keep yourself focused upon the hope for the future. You have the strength to bring this through. Keep bringing yourself back to that energy of hope for a better future. By the end of the month, we are going to see you fully birthing a new project. And I'm not saying bringing an old project to completion. I'm really seeing a new project, something you've been thinking about for a while. You're suddenly seeing, oh, this is the way I can make this happen. And things are just falling into place around and I'm working a bit backwards right now, but around the middle of the month, whatever problems or difficulties or challenges to the visions you've had, those things are really clearing up nicely. We just have this sense of problem solving, things moving ahead, things coming to a resolution. And right in the beginning of the month, it's hope, it's strength, it's connection. It is going to be very important for you to connect with that beautiful Piscean energy that is about, to be connected with your intuition. Sometimes you're a little bit mind dominated. So just bring it back to the heart connections, to the soul connections, because that's really where those problem solving skills really come through. You know, you can solve with the brain, but it's with the heart that you see the correct path, the true path, the right path for you. Please recognize that you too are a divine medium between the spiritual and physical realms, and part of your task is to bring through and to bridge the new technologies into this physical realm right here. And it is a profound and beautiful task you have been set out to do, and I'm so excited for your beautiful creative projects. I am excited at what you birth this month of June. Thank you for watching Aquarius Moons. I wish you all of the best with this glorious energy. Please, if you enjoyed, do hit like and subscribe and leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you down below. Love it if you joined me on Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. If you would like a personal private reading with me, drop me an email. Everything you need is linked in the description below. And until next time, beautiful souls. Gorgeous Capricorn moon signs. For you, I am getting a snake energy, and the thing about a snake energy is it has so many dimensions and sides, and I think some of them are a little bit unfair, such as the association with evil, right? Such as the association with the fall of man. I think that this really is a demonization of feminine power, and I think that our very connection with the animal realm, right, with earthly things, is a part of our divinity. And of course it has those associations with Kundalini rising, right, which is to do with enlightenment. And then it has those associations with the Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail that goes round in a circle, which is about beginnings and endings, and the understanding that every beginning is also an ending, and every ending is just another beginning. And the other keywords that are coming through for you are balance. Bring focus to balance as you move through these. Next keyword, transformations. For you are shifting in profound and powerful ways, and I really am feeling that there is a lot of surrendering happening for you at the moment. A lot of surrendering of stubbornness, accepting a helping hand, and the integration of inner peace and the cultivation, the self-cultivation of inner peace, taking the responsibility to create the peace for yourself, recognizing that you control the worry narrative in your mind, that only you have the keys to unlocking those doors and releasing and controlling and releasing controlling. Around the beginning of the month, I am feeling a lot of joy and a lot of happiness, a lot of celebration energy for you, which is really, really amazing considering we're in Mercury retrograde and there may be some hiccups. But later on towards the middle of the month, there is this sense of flared egos, sensitivities. It may be to do with Venus moving into Cancer, so we've got Mars and Venus in Cancer. But whatever it is, there's going to be a little bit of glared teeth, a little bit of domination battles, a little bit of flared egos, these kinds of things. And you know, you can play into that, or you can observe that. You can be the watcher of that. And around the end of the month, you're really going to need to tap into those glorious, practical, step-by-step kind of energies that you are so good at using. Use your intellectual powers, use your commitment, use your ability to be dedicated and keep taking those steps. Bring yourself back down to grounding. If it is possible for you, climb a mountain. I'm feeling that this will be a really, really amazing way for you to just tap back in with your own intuitive powers. But you have got this. And I think it's going to be a great month for you, as long as you are able to keep bringing yourself back to that knowing that you cultivate your own inner peace through bringing balance and focus to balance in your life while you move through these transformations. Thank you so much for watching, beautiful Capricorn moon signs. If you enjoyed, please do hit like and subscribe. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And of course, I would be honored if you joined me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And of course, if you would like a personal full tarot reading with me, drop me an email. Everything is linked below. Until next time, with love. Beautiful Sagittarius moon signs, I am so excited about the energy of the month of June for you, because your cards are looking so positive. Some key words. Your wish comes true. Your wish comes true. Of course, always be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for, because sometimes we think we want something and then it comes about and we go, ooh, maybe not. Maybe not. So if you get any of those wishes coming true that you change your mind about later, just be patient with diffusing it. Most important keywords that are coming through for you is passion and heart-centeredness. And I literally see fire and flames and a warm home, a protected home, and that everything aligns when you are aligned with following the passions, the stirrings of your heart. And I get the animal, the starfish, and the starfish is about being centered and rooted within the center, centered within that heart space, and rooted within your passions, right? And then reaching out from that space of being grounded within that loving, aligned space. Around the beginning of the month, it's quite possible that a new relationship is sparked in your life. For those of you looking for love, it may well be in the aspect of love, because I mean, we're literally getting your wish comes true, we're getting passion, we're getting heat and warmth and heart-centeredness. So this all seems very aligned. Of course, some of you may already be in romantic relationships and looking for a good business partner or a new friend, but whatever it is, there's new relationship coming through at the beginning of this month, which is very exciting and certainly divinely led. It is aligned with synchronicity. Towards the middle of the month, there is this renewed sense of dedication to your passion, to your career path, and to birthing your projects, to creating and making and bringing through. There's just this feeling of putting your head down. No, not even putting your head down, because that feels like almost too much hard work. It's more this sense of you just allowing the work to flow through you, and it flows with such divine and glorious energy. It's like you are channeling the universe, and you surely are. Around the end of the month, there is going to be this sense of kicked up energy. It's almost like the passion and the fire has been flowing and flowing and flowing, and now the fire is getting too big and it needs to just be tempered a little bit. It just needs to calm down a little bit. So just be cautious that you don't get too hot-headed. This may be aligned with Venus and Mars moving into Leo, and that sort of pride and ego and flaring of egos, these kinds of energies. So just be cautious that you keep your creative fires at a temperate temperature, just enough that it provides the heat and the warmth and the flow and the love, but not too much that you get so caught up in it. And I think you get the point. So beautiful Sagittarius moons, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please do hit like and subscribe. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And of course, I would be honored if you joined me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And of course, if you would like a personal full tarot reading with me, drop me an email. Everything is linked below. Until next time, with love. Scorpio moon. There are a couple things coming through for you. Deep waters. Scorpios, you know how to navigate those deep waters. You know how to go into those underrealms, into those dark spaces, and to come back with knowledge, with understanding. You are not afraid to go deep and to go dark, and it is one of your best traits. And a lot of the time other people misunderstand you for it. They misunderstand your ability to befriend the darkness, but it is, wow, it is a gift that you give the world, because you can go there and you can illuminate the truth, and you can come back with that deep understanding. So there is going to be a lot of processing for you this month. It's one of your keys to this month, and I mean, really, it's one of those things that you just do, right? But it is going to be particularly heightened in June. I think it has a lot to do with Pluto is in retrograde still, and of course, your fellow watery sign Pisces, we've got Neptune and Jupiter. Neptune and Jupiter retrograde in Pisces, and you know, that's pulling on some of those emotional watery things that are going on within you. And also your traditional ruler Mars is in Cancer and then in Leo, and this is sure to pull you in all sorts of interesting ways. In some moments it's going to feel like there is just too much going on, and it will be necessary for you to accept help from others. Please know that you are not alone. I know sometimes you like to tell yourself that you're alone and nobody understands you, and you can be quite secretive about what you're going through and what you're feeling, because I think sometimes you just feel like people can't handle your darkness, and sure, some can't, some can't, but there are those that surround you who are also doing those journeys, right? Find some other Scorpio energies. The most important thing for you to remember through this month is that there is a divine order in things. So there are going to be some moments where it just feels like everything is chaos, everything is dark, and of course when you go into the depths, it does make everything seem quite dark. please just keep reminding yourself of that divine order so that you are able to see past the illusion, see through the illusion. You have this ability to penetrate to the truth of the matter, to the truth of things. I see a shattering mirror, and we can see this, and it's the same energy, but it can be perceived in two ways. Oh no, I broke a mirror, it's 7 years bad luck. Nonsense. Shattering the illusions, clearing the way so that new growth can come through. You get it. I know you get it. Around the beginning of the month, it's kind of going to feel like you're trying to get things going, you're trying to move things, but you keep getting held back by this deep inner work, and it kind of feels like things are not moving in the external realms, and you know very well a lot is moving within, and that this is actually far more important, right? A lot of things just come to a shrieking halt so that you can do your inner work. It's so essential. And then you kind of go, oh my goodness, how am I going to pay rent this month because there isn't any work coming through? But meanwhile, you actually don't have the capacity to do work right now. So it's actually a gift that things are paused. Trust that if you focus on that work that you need to be doing, right? The work you've been called to do, those deep waters, as soon as you travel back from those underworlds, those realms, those deep dark realms, and you come back stronger and ready and fresh and new, the phoenix rising from the ashes, everything will flow again. You know this. Around the middle of the month, it is going to be necessary for you to channel through to work yourself through some heartache. I am feeling that it's a current thing that happens that gives you heartache, but you recognize that that heartache is actually evoking an old heartache from, it's feeling like, for those of you who are a bit older, like your early 20s. For those of you who are in your early 20s, it's going to be your early teens. Yes, look back at that time, because there's something that happened there that needs some healing, okay? And that's why this heartache is coming up now, and that's why you've attracted this pattern, and it's a pattern you've been through before. Around the end of the month, you will have moved through a lot of work, and you will be seeing how creative projects can be birthed again, and you will be seeing that, oh, I'm at the completion of this cycle. I'm really amazed at everything I've been through. I'm really proud of the work I've done. Wow, I've managed to juggle many things, because let's be honest, the work did have to carry on. Shatter the illusion and see yourself in the broken image. Don't blame others for your internal state. Take your power and shift that internal workings, as you know so well to do. Scorpio moons, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please do hit like and subscribe. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And of course, I would be honored if you joined me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And of course, if you would like a personal full tarot reading with me, drop me an email. Everything is linked below. Until next time, with love. Hello, Libra moons. A couple keywords are coming up for you, and it really is one of those essences of who you are. It is relationship harmony, joy, and balance. I see the sun shining upon you and favoring you as long as you watch your words. Be very cautious with your words, especially around the beginning of the month. There may be a moment where you feel a little bit like you've been betrayed, or even that you've betrayed yourself through the use of your words. But be careful when you feel betrayed. Be careful how you speak about those things. Be careful that you're not too quick to accuse or point fingers or point blame. at others. There is this sense of too much going on at once, too much happening, and there's this need for you to prioritize, to check in with what's most important. And of course, that very, very important aspect for you is to remain balanced, getting enough time to just listen to your inner voice, to listen to what needs to come through, and to listen to what it is that you need within yourself. Around the middle of the month, we're going to have a sort of rush of energy, things moving forward, things happening very, very quickly. So you need to be ready for that. And you know, with that Mercury retrograde energy, it can be that rush of energy becomes a little bit confused, that words are misunderstood, that meetings are missed, these kinds of things. So just be cautious about your planning and take one thing at a time. And if you can, really weed out some of the unnecessary things from your schedule. Don't say yes just because you want to, just because it's at a whim, you know. By the end of the month, I do see you arising victorious. I do see you with this energy of success and this energy of, I achieved so much, I accomplished all of the things that I needed to achieve, and that's really, really, really beautiful. When you feel that things throughout the month leading up to your victory, when you feel that things are too much or it's really difficult, try a more playful approach. The playful, joyful, carefree kind of energy is what's going to help you move towards that success. You don't have to take things so seriously. Thank you so much, Libra moons. If you enjoyed, please do hit like and subscribe. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And of course, I would be honored if you joined me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And of course, if you would like a personal, full tarot reading with me, drop me an email. Everything is linked below. Until next time, with love. Virgo moon signs, a few keywords are coming through. For you, you are surrounded by abundance. Acknowledge where there is so much abundance for you in your life. Playfulness is going to be a key to your success. Sometimes you can take things a little bit too seriously. Just bring a little bit more of a playfulness in. Love vibration, and you know how to give of service from a space of love. You know how to do that. So really bring focus to that loving energy and why it is you do the things that you do. That selfless, unconditional giving through love vibration. Things really are looking up for you. Things are really turning around for you, and the abundance is pouring in. It is going to be very necessary for you to focus on cultivating a gentle energy. Sometimes that critical voice is a bit harsh, and you know, you can use that critical voice, that critical inner voice, in a way that is useful. It's good to be able to see all of the problems, etc. But be gentle with others, but especially be gentle with yourself, and only give from an overflowing cup of love. When you need to give that love to yourself, give it to yourself first. At the beginning of the month, it's going to be essential for you to self-care. There is going to be a bit of a slump in energy, a perceived rock bottom kind of feeling. You will move through this with grace. You know how to self-heal. You know how to look after yourself. You know how to shift. So get down on your knees and surrender to where you are and transmute it, because by the middle of the month, you will find yourself being the queen or king or queen of your glorious, practical, abundant energy once more. Bring yourself to this point and get the rest that you need so that you can be of service once again. By the end of the month, there is going to be this need for you to make a judgment call, a choice, a big choice. And your higher self wants you to make that choice with gentleness, with kindness, and from a consciousness of the love vibration. Bring yourself into alignment by meditating upon this thing, because it's quite a big decision and a big undertaking. Good luck with this glorious month, and thank you for watching, beautiful Virgo moons. If you enjoyed, please do hit like and subscribe. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And of course, I would be honored if you joined me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And of course, if you would like a personal, full tarot reading with me, drop me an email. Everything is linked below. Until next time, with love. Leo moons. Few key concepts are coming through here. Honor how you are feeling. Listen to those intuitive nudges. Become friends with how you feel and recognize the patterns that play out in terms of your emotional responses to things. There is a feeling of discontentment that can come about, and it is up to you to transmute that energy. You really are in a space of incubation in this month of June, and incubation it's a time where inner work happens, inner growth happens, where we observe and sit with and honor. There is this sense of promises and commitments, and there's this need to be cautious about the commitments you make externally from yourself, and there is this need to check in with the commitments you have made to yourself, for your inner work, for your glorious journey on this beautiful spiritual path. Remind yourself of those divine commitments that you have made, and perhaps you are being reminded of certain promises you made before you incarnated into this life. So watch out for how you are feeling, because a lot of the intuitive senses, a lot of the knowledge is coming through in quite visceral feelings as well in your body. Start to play around with interpreting the feelings in your body. If you have an ache, for example, in the middle of your back, there's something you're carrying around from the past that needs to be released. If you've got a pain in your shoulder, it's a chip on your shoulder, right? If you've got a pain in your neck, flexibility of view. What do you need to take in, right? I'm seeing this month for you as a huge overhaul on the internal work. Mystical knowledges are being unlocked. Things are being integrated in profound ways. There's a lot of movement on the internal realms, not necessarily in the external realms, but this internal work is really paving the way for the external manifestations to come through, and you're really going to see how your fortune starts to shift and change towards the middle of the month, and you're going to see physical things starting to manifest because of that inner work. So continue with that inner work, and by the end of the month you're going to be reviewing where it is you want to be going because of these new knowledges, this new information that's coming through. You're really going to check in with your goals for your future and reassess your goals for your future and make some little tweaks in the details so that it is more fully aligned with the new understanding you have now of who you truly are. Leo moons, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please do hit like and subscribe. I would love to hear from you in the comments below, and of course I would be honored if you joined me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And of course, if you would like a personal full tarot reading with me, drop me an email. Everything is linked below. Until next time, with love. Cancer moons. Rest. Rest is very, very essential for you in this month of June. Prioritize your rest. Don't push yourself too hard. Know that you are worthy of taking time out to heal in those moments when you need it, and you are being called to remember that you are safe, that you are divinely protected, and that you have the ability to call in that divine protection from the god or goddess or being of your perception, right? That protecting energy that comes through for you, and you call for it, and you are being reminded that there is no actual risk of being here in this incarnation, that nothing can damage your spirit or soul, and that you knew this before you came through into this incarnation. I'm really feeling this sense of new birth coming through, all right? This may be a flesh and blood child, but it may be you birthing a new version of your beautiful life, a new project, a new business venture. Perhaps you're building a new home, perhaps you're renovating your home. There are so many ways that this new life can really come about, and there really is reason for you to celebrate in this month of June. So do check in with all of the wonderful things in your life that you have to be grateful for, and gather and celebrate all of the successes. At the beginning of the month, we have a little bit of a flighty, aggressive kind of energy coming through. This will definitely be interconnected with that Mercury retrograde energy. Be cautious with the kinds of words you use. Be cautious to not react too quickly to the kinds of aggressive energies that are about, and be cautious that you are not acting in a way that is aggressive. Transmute this energy, all right? And you know, the thing about this aggressive energy, it's full of energy, so you can take that energy that's flowing and use it in positive and empowering ways. In the middle of the month, there's definitely going to be this feeling of, whoa, I've taken on a lot. This is quite a big task for me to take on. I'm not sure how I'm going to make it through, how I'm going to finish this. Just know, one step at a time. Don't look at the big mountain that you have to climb. Just look at the next step and take that. Know that there is a reason that you are on this path. And again, prioritize that rest in between. Towards the end of the month, there is going to be a profound need for you to spend time alone. And Cancer moons, you know how important that alone time is for you, to just check in with how you are feeling. It is so, so essential. Please take that time. If you can, go on a spiritual retreat. If you can, go away and spend some time in nature. Your soul will thank you. Beautiful Cancers. Blessings. If you enjoyed, please do hit like and subscribe. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And of course, I would be honored if you joined me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And of course, if you would like a personal full tarot reading with me, drop me an email. Everything is linked below. Until next time, with love. Hello, Gemini moon signs. A couple things are coming through. Firstly, clear your space. As you clear the clutter, you clear the clutter from your mind as well. Make everything around you neat, and also organize things, all right? You like to take so many different things on, and you like to have 25 different projects on at once, and it just becomes a big mess, and then you actually can't feel and think properly. You just feel scattered. And in order for you to hone in those energies, especially now while Mercury is retrograde, just do some cleaning, clearing, packing away, making neat. It's going to make you feel so much better. Some of the other keywords that are coming through here is freedom. And you know, that feeling of freedom is something we can tap into at any point. But when we really tap into that feeling of freedom, I'm really feeling it manifest and come through for you as that feeling of financial freedom. Okay, there's a lot of hints at a lot of good finance happening for you this month. Okay, so you are finessing this beautiful energy really well, but there is the warning: be cautious that you're not being greedy. Be cautious that you stay aligned with the reasons why you are doing what you're doing, why you're calling in that abundance, and how you can share that with others, how you can make it something that is a spiritual gift. Be careful that it's not only self-serving. Of course, recognizing that serving the other is also serving the self means it should be self-serving, right? But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Don't let it be greed. Let it be for love. The other thing that's coming through is the moon card, actually. And I'm feeling that your psychic abilities may be quite heightened in this month. There's quite an opening happening for you to be able to tap into that. It may be because of all of this Pisces energy and a lot of the aspects happening with Mercury, which of course is your ruling planet of your moon placement. Release any of the fears that are holding you back. Bring a focus to that, because you're going to be more easily seeing the evidence of those fears. So just consciously release them as they crop up. Recognize that part of creating your financial freedom is also having that balance in terms of your rest and play cycles. You don't want to be just work. Gone with those ideas that it's about always just putting in the work at the expense of your mental, physical well-being and emotional, of course. By the middle of the month, you really have this ability to see how wealth is just pouring in. Wealth is pouring in. And, you know, wealth doesn't have to just be financial. You can look at your life and go, wow, I've built this beautiful home, I've built this beautiful family, I've got this amazing friendship circle, I'm creating all of these magical connections, and I'm able to move freely and do things that just bring so much abundance of joy and that feeling of achievement, right? And enjoy that feeling of achievement. By the end of the month, you're really seeing a lot of that wealth pouring in, and you are sitting comfortably. It's really a good month for you to push things in your business, in your career path, get new customers. It's a fortunate one for you. Just don't slip into greed. Lots of love, Gemini moons. If you enjoyed, please do hit like and subscribe. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And of course, I would be honored if you joined me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And of course, if you would like a personal full tarot reading with me, drop me an email. Everything is linked below. Until next time, with love. Taurus moon signs, I am feeling that it is time for you to take a leap of faith and follow your dreams in a more profound way than you have before, in a more committed way, and you know about commitment. So step into this transformation. Transformational energy is surrounding you in this month of June. Access it and feel it and cultivate it. You are feeling particularly sensitive. It may well have a lot to do with that Pisces energy, Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces, and it's really heightening your ability to see where people are coming from, to communicate in a more loving ways. And of course, you know how to lovingly communicate, and you are so patient, but it's really allowing you to pick up some of those little nuances in the subtle layers of energy that happen when people communicate with each other, and you are also being more sensitive to the kinds of energy that is coming off of signs and symbols that are coming through to you, as well as the movements of the planets. And this is quite exciting, so really cultivate that beautiful sense of sensitivity. The other thing that is coming through is this feeling of remaining anchored no matter what the waters are doing. And I mean, it's so essential for you to be grounded, especially with that earthy Taurus moon energy. So remember that importance of just bringing yourself back down to earth, back down to reality. You know, even when there's a storm around you, you can choose to be the eye of the storm. Of course, if you lose your temper, which it takes a lot for you to lose your temper, but when you do, you are the storm. So you want to avoid that unless it's absolutely necessary. You know, sometimes it is a good energy release, but we just want to be cautious about harming and hurting those around us, and especially those we love, and that's often who we take our tempers out on. At the beginning of the month, there is this sense of you being trapped in some kind of narrative that you are feeding yourself. And this is why it's really great that this transformational energy is surrounding you, because you have the ability to shift your perspective and to recognize the illusion of that trap, because you're not really trapped in this situation. So please remember to shift your perspective, to tap into your sensitivity, and to find the solution, because you absolutely can. By the middle of the month, you are really being reminded of those immense, deep, infinite wells of inner strength that you have. And the confidence is just beaming from you, and you are feeling expansive and joyful, and you're really being recognized as well. You're being recognized for the amazing work that you are doing. By the end of the month, it's really time to get down to it and to work. There's lots of work coming through for those of you who have your own businesses or you're working freelance. This is really the time where it's like, whoa, it's all coming in, so it's time to put your head down, it's time to focus. Again, remember the importance of remaining balanced, and good luck with this beautiful leap of faith. If you enjoyed, please do hit like and subscribe. I would love to hear from you in the comments below, and of course I would be honored if you joined me on Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. And of course, if you would like a personal full tarot reading with me, drop me an email. Everything is linked below. Until next time, with love. Aries moon signs. The energy of hope is with you, and you are being reminded that you are the star of your show, that you are the hero of your life, and you are being reminded of your ability to be your leader, to steer your ship, the ship of your life, in the direction that you choose to do it. And when you step in to taking the leadership role, and you step in to being the one in charge of where you are headed, that is when you turn that wheel of fortune in your favor. I really feel this sense of inner fullness and self-completion, this feeling of wholeness, and you are being reminded that you are perfect, whole and complete as you are in this very moment, even as you are becoming and evolving and shifting into something more and expanding those definitions of who you are in this world. In the beginning of the month, there is going to be this rush of fiery energy, and it's going to be necessary for you to be cool, calm and collected. And isn't that the best version of a leader, right? A person who has great power does not shout and scream and demand the power. A person who has great power need only speak softly, and everyone will lean in closer to listen because they sense that power. Remain calm, for that is when you are the true leader. Is when you show everyone else how to conduct themselves in the most potent and powerful and healing manner. In the middle of the month, there is going to be this need for you to make a decision, and people around you are going to be pressuring you a little bit to move ahead with this decision. And you kind of feel a bit conflicted about which route to turn. I want you to know you don't have all the information yet that you need to make the decision. Do more research, speak to a mentor, do some reading, and do some meditating and see how you really feel. And focus on bringing a balance to your inner self, your inner realms. And this is what will be the key and the activator that allows you to come to the space of, that aha moment. Oh, I know what to do now. At the end of the month, there may be something that occurs and unfolds that makes you feel a little bit nervous about your finances. All right, maybe it's like an unexpected bill or an unexpected expense, and that kind of makes you close up energetically a little bit. And I just want you to be very cautious that you're not putting walls up that block your inflow. Just trust that what flows out flows back in, and what flows in must flow back out as well. Trust in that divine flow, and do not fall back into old patterns, old beliefs that you have already chosen to shift away from. Beautiful Aries moons, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please do hit like and subscribe. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And of course, I would be honored if you joined me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And of course, if you would like a personal full tarot reading with me, drop me an email. Everything is linked below. Until next time, with love.